as I said, it's always important to know your airport and what's around it, and following a perimeter road is quite useful. Obviously, we have a lot of buildings and hangars around Donaldson here. So as I come to the end of the runway here, I'm going to follow it on more of a traditional kind of downwind. I won't follow the perimeter road again, but I'm going to cut across the runway here and then do a traditional downwind. Now, the problem, a traditional downwind is 1,000 feet elevation above the ground, 1,000 feet above the ground, and we're only at 500 feet, but that's okay. If there were other traffic and you were flying in a little ultralight like this, you would either let everybody know you're flying at 500 feet instead of 1,000, but traditionally I would fly the same altitude as all the other airplanes in the air. Okay, there's the end of the runway. So I'm going to start a turn, go across the end of the runway here. Okay. And there's the end of the runway. I'm going to follow over there to those buildings, and this is another set of references I use when I'm flying around these buildings here, trying to stay at 1,500 feet, and I am. Okay, so we'll just follow these buildings here. There's the middle of the closed runway, and we'll just need to keep turning a little bit till we see the end of the active runway we're going to land at. There's the active runway we're going to land at. Now that's a traditional kind of downwind for this light aircraft, ultralight type aircraft, and we are still at about 1,560 feet there, according to the HUD. Airspeed is fine, and I'm not going to go all the way out to the lake because I'm going to actually, let's see here, airspeed is above 50. I'm going to pull the power back to about 1550, about there, and I'm going to here we go. Now we're about 40 knots. I'm going to put down one click of flaps. Okay, there's one click of flaps down. There's two clicks of flaps down. Add power back in to maintain about 40. Okay, I'll look back here, and my flaps are down. Good. So now I'll aim toward the lake because I know where that is, and I'm a little high, so I'm going to pull the power back and nose it over a little bit and get back down to 500 feet. And not quite at the end of the runway yet. Leveled off a little high, gonna go back down a little, look to the end of the runway there, and we're doing fine. Alright, sometimes it's easier to watch the dials in here, sometimes it's easier just to watch the HUD. Okay, I got about a 300 foot per minute rate of descent there. That'll get me down to where I want to be before I start my turn. Okay, I know that grassy area there, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and start my turn. My flaps are down. I can maintain between 35 and 40 knots here. Do a nice simple turn. And there's the grassy area. I'm going to start descending toward the runway. Runway's right there. And down we come. Okay. So this is how I use my landmarks to know exactly where I am when I, if I need to turn my head, I can use the hat button to pan around if I need. But we're looking good right here. Coming in, airspeed is a little high, descent rate is a little high, but we'll want to get down here and level off. Okay, so now, coming in. Alright, gonna go to my chase view here, gonna cut the power, and just let her come on in. And that's a reasonable landing. Sometimes you just plan it on a little. I'll put the flaps up as I roll to a stop here. Okay, hit the brakes, and we're down. Okay, so that's a perimeter view and how I sometimes just like to fly around the airport, get to know it very well from the air, and that way as you approach the airport you will instantly recognize where you are and where you want to go. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. And stay tuned also for a revision of my keyboard profile, because I've added a few new keys to that.